What the
Bruh.
Alright, welcome back to the Bruh Podcast. I am Jacob.
I'm Max.
I'm Adino.
I'm Raina.
And today
and
we're
we
talking
say
about
bruh.
Anchorman.
The second one.
Yeah, the Anchorman 2, my bad.
Anchorman the second.
I would
Most
say
random
I would
movie.
say let's have Jacob give a synopsis real quick.
Alright, yeah, so basically, Anchorman 2 is, it's a movie, I think.
One that shouldn't
And-
exist.
So basically, it is the second edition of the first Anchorman movie, where after becoming a very successful news host in his native hometown of San Diego, Ron Burgundy, the main character played by William Ferrell, moves to New York with his partner Veronica Corningstone, and I don't actually know who she's played by, but after this is spoilers for the movie, by the way, after she becomes like the new host of like the primetime news segment in New York, and Will Ferrell as Ron Burgundy gets fired, he goes and moves to like Florida or something, and SeaWorld becomes like a SeaWorld guy. Then he gets fired from that.
They get divorced, by the way.
Yeah, they get divorced.
So there's another divorce for you.
Yeah. So then he, after getting fired from the SeaWorld job, he tries to kill himself, but then he like goes to a restaurant or something, or like some like dude from like the news corporation that is like huge, like walks in and it's like, don't kill yourself. We're gonna get you a news show. And then just many things ensue
it
after
really
that.
takes off.
They get the crew from the old people back together. And
Yeah,
then there are
Steve
just-
Carell and Paul Rudd. They really play those.
there are many other characters in this movie. There's a massive fight scene at the end.
It's
The most
it's
random part.
it's not even like there's no plot.
It's
Like,
just
we can't
unexplainable.
we
You
can't
should
even explain it to you because we don't even know ourselves. I mean,
go
it's
and
like
go and
just
watch
watch
this
it.
movie.
I mean, just like
There was
It's
each
not-
different plot. There was
It's not fun when it's not 3 a.m. and you're not with like your best friends, but go and watch it anyways.
I mean, like wow.
zoned off
Yeah,
in the middle of it.
I think I just forgot the first half hour because who did Steve Carell play again?
Brick.
Yeah, he faked his death.
Yeah.
Can we just talk about that?
No,
real
he
quick?
accidentally faked his death though.
Yeah, because he didn't know he was dead,
Yeah.
but not dead. I honestly,
And
He
I
showed up
randomly
to his own
became-
funeral.
he spoke at his own funeral.
Yeah.
You random. Oh yeah, and then who was the main character's name again?
Ron.
Oh yeah, he
Ron
like randomly
Burgundy.
became blind during the.
Yeah, he
Middle of the
became
movie.
blind.
Oh
at the
yeah,
end.
he became blind because he hit himself on the head while ice skating at a dinner like dedicated to him. It
Yeah.
was insane.
And then like moved on to like a tower. What was it? What was it?
He moved into a lighthouse in
Yeah.
like Maine or something,
That was
or like
so
Connecticut.
random.
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, it was.
It was a lot, and then circling back to that fight scene at the end, there were so let's talk about some rappers that were in this movie.
Kanye West.
Wow, spoilers.
Yeah.
But yeah, at the beginning of the movie, they just have a cameo from Drake for some reason.
Oh yeah.
That was weird. And then at the end of the movie, there's this huge fight scene with like a bunch of like actors as movie people,
Like
or,
just
as
like
news people.
for
I
no
mean.
reason. Like
Yeah,
literally, you've
just
never
because-
seen them in the entire movie, and then in the like 15 minutes,
Yeah.
they like all show up
The
and
general-
fight each other in the middle of a park.
The
know
general
who they are,
premise
they never
is
came
that
out.
they're all like showing up to fight these one dudes that were like their enemies from the last movie, but then Kanye West just shows up, and it's
Yeah.
insane.
I mean, like, wasn't Jim Carrey in it?
Yeah, Jim Carrey was a
Yeah.
Canadian guy in it. I think
Well,
he's
Jim
a
Carrey
Canadian.
Will
is
Smith.
Canadian.
I think he's a
Will
Canadian
Smith
guy in
was
real
also
life
in
as
it.
well.
No,
Will
yeah, Jim
Smith was
Carrey is
also in it.
Canadian.
Yeah.
Yeah, my gosh, that movie was just.
Wait, wasn't Will Smith in there?
Yeah, that's what we
That's
just
what I
said.
just
Oh.
said.
That's literally
Will
what we
Smith
just
was
said.
there.
Yeah, so
The Ghost of Stonewall Jackson.
Let's
Yeah.
talk about the budget of this movie.
yeah, so we're coming in like we're gonna talk about the Emoji Movie next, but The exact same budget of $50 million.
Wow.
Quite the budget. I mean, it's for having Kanye West and a Drake cameo, and I mean, just like,
Impressive.
Yeah, that's like twice as much. As,
I would say they stretched that budget very far. Like they.
Oh, they really did. I mean, my God.
Yeah.
And in the grand total, they made $124 or $27 million. That's
Not bad at all.
That's not bad.
That's
That's
not
not
bad,
bad.
but that's
Not
not
bad.
very good.
It's nowhere near Sharknado, guys.
Yeah.
Nowhere near
Oh,
Sharknado.
Not a
Even
Sharknado.
Romeo and Juliet made more money than that.
True.
Every single other
They actually
movie
did.
made more than Anchorman 2.
Every single movie in existence.
No. Like
No.
On Sharknado made more, and Romeo and Juliet made more, and Jack and Jill, and in our next episode we're going to talk about the Emoji Movie, and even they made more.
Yeah.
And the Emoji Movie is a horrible movie. I'd say probably one of the worst we watched this whole thing, but we'll talk about that.
I would
next
say
time.
it's the worst. Honest, actually,
I
no,
think I
not
read
the
that the
worst.
last-
Jack and Jill.
Jack
was
and
the
Jill
worst.
was-
Oh, yeah.
That movie was terrible.
Yeah, so I mean, Anchorman too. They did a lot with $50 million.
They really
got
did.
a lot of actors. They got a lot of random things in there.
They
They had that. What's that guy's name? Jack Lime.
They
Is
had
that his
Jack
name?
Lime change his name to Jack Lame.
Yeah, that
was
was the dumbest thing I think I've ever seen.
But
they, like,
were
had some
there-
bet, like,
Were there Australian people?
yeah, that's
The
the
Global
real
News
question.
Network guy.
Indeed.
So we had the Global News Network guy was the one Aussie in that movie that it changed. It shows our chain of Aussies. That we
yeah,
have
so
in Sharknado
most of
and-
our movies that we have viewed have had Australian people. in them.
except for Jack and Jill. Jack and Jill was bad enough as is. We don't need any
I mean,
Australians in there.
yeah, the only Australian thing that we could even find related to Jack and Jill was that there was like a movie in Australia once in the 70s called Jack and Jill with absolutely no relation to it.
Yeah, that's really it. And then there was the divorce. Ron
was
and
divorce,
Veronica got divorced.
Marital troubles.
But then I'm pretty sure didn't they like
We started
start dating
yeah.
again after
After
the
the
shark?
They did. Oh yeah, there was a shark in the movies that connects to Sharknado.
And
Yeah.
they became friends.
Well,
The
yeah,
son, right, or something.
yeah. And then didn't the shark like bite him or something?
But
Were they
later,
friends?
No,
later
they were
didn't
friends,
they
but
get
the shark,
remarried?
like, either ate another shark or like was ate by another shark as soon as they released him into the wild.
I thought he found his shark thing again, and then he got like attacked.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty.
And then his dog saved him.
Notice how
Right?
we all
Yeah,
don't
and
Yeah,
then
his
remember.
dog
Sorry.
saved him. What was this movie?
Yeah,
I mean,
they were
like
all-
seriously.
And then he somehow like got freaking surgery, and then he could see again.
Oh yeah, but the what's it called? The wife didn't tell him about it, right? They had like that huge fight, and then he like made her leave, and he was like on the ground, like blind by himself, like
Yeah.
in the middle of the road.
He was
That
eating
was
like rocks
Insane.
Yeah,
because he was
it's.
blind.
Yeah, he was eating various strange items.
I mean,
can't
how can that be a blind person?
yeah, it was.
What even happened like in the end? Anything happened in the end?
Yeah, what actually
I don't
happened in the
remember.
end?
He
Yeah.
went to his son's recital.
Yeah, that because
Oh, right after the fight scene.
yeah, because that was right after the fight scene. The blind scene was like first, and then he got remarried to Veronica, I think, and
yeah, that's where
and
the shark thing happened.
That's where the shark thing happened. Yeah, because they had it by the beach.
Oh my god.
They were
Where,
like,
where did that house come from, by the way?
I think
house?
I think it
Where
was just
like
there.
he just showed up when he was blind. Like,
Yeah, how did he buy a
How did
house
he
when
get
he
the
was
house?
They
blind?
didn't say. I'm pretty sure they didn't say. I don't think
And like,
so.
why was his ex-wife just showing up at his house?
Yeah, that's kind of weird. Like, didn't
Like-
she hate him?
Because she
Like,
missed
I
him.
miss you.
I miss you, so I'm not gonna
Our
tell you how to
son
get your
misses
sight
you.
back. Yeah, I mean, wow. So
Yeah.
so let's favorite characters. Anyone got any favorite characters, or was it just like
Steve
horrible?
Carell.
Yeah, I thought Steve Carell killed his role. I mean, Steve
He
Carell could
was
probably
funny.
play a cucumber and he would kill it. So
I liked Wesley Jackson from the MTV News crew. That's Kanye's character.
I truthfully, I really liked Jack Lime. I thought he was pretty funny.
Honestly, yeah, Jack Lime was.
He was
funny.
pretty mean, but he was my main source of entertainment
Yeah.
throughout that entire movie because I really just didn't know what was happening, and you could tell me to write the plot down. I'd probably
Write the plot
just go
down,
blank.
Nadina.
Like I don't
I
remember
just-
anybody's names to be honest.
Yeah, I looked. I mean, Ron. Like, who's that? I mean, no, I know
That's
who
Will
Ron.
Ferrell.
No, I know, but it was a joke. Anyway.
I don't know Paul Rudd's character.
Yeah, what's his name?
Should we do the bra ratings now?
Yeah, let's go around and give it the
Okay.
bro rating. What about you? So, Raina, what do you think?
But we're like a 6 out of 10 bros, just because I didn't know what was happening half of the time, and then like I blanked out during like the middle of the movie.
Like when he
Which
was
is
blind?
So random. No, I think it was before then. I wouldn't be able to tell you because I don't remember. The characters were funny though, so I give that 6 out of 10 bros.
Cool.
I'm gonna give that movie. I'd say like an 8 out of 10, bros. I just did not enjoy it whatsoever. I thought it was really horrible. I mean, it was just so hard to follow. Like, it was just a movie. You know what I mean? Like it was just a motion picture. There was nothing else going on. Like, I didn't really get it. I mean, yeah. So
They tried so hard to make a movie that they just ended
that they
up
failed.
like-
They tried so hard.
Like, they were just like, let's throw absolutely everything that ever happens ever into this movie and see what happens.
The ghost of Stonewall Jackson.
That was
why was he
insane.
even in it? Like, where did that come from?
Yeah, that was
Maybe it was the director's first time, you know.
Definitely. I mean,
the director's first movie. And he was just like, I'm gonna put everything in this movie.
yeah, and it makes it worse that it's a sequel too. Like,
Yeah.
I just genuinely like. Normally, like, I haven't seen Anchorman 1 or the first Anchorman, but normally when you watch like a sequel, there's like some bit of context where you can like pick up a little bit. Like, you know, like in the Marvel movies, there's some like other like movies after that where you can figure it out. Like, if you don't watch Infinity War but you watch Endgame, you could probably figure out what's happened in Infinity War through like them like going back in time or whatever. But like, I mean, it was just, I had absolutely no idea what happened in Anchorman, the first one.
Is there
I
only,
Okay,
just-
well,
is
you
there
are
only 2
comparing
movies of
one
this?
of the best movies of all time to a piece of garbage. Okay.
But like, no, but don't you think like you should be able to have some bit of context to like even know what was happening?
Yeah.
Like, I just had no idea what was going on. I mean, we
Yeah.
like started like in a bus or something. Like, what was that?
Again, you are looking at a
Oh, and
piece
they
of
crashed.
garbage.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. So that leads us into Max. What was your bro rating?
I mean, I'm gonna be honest. I kind of enjoyed this movie, but I'm still gonna give it like an 8 out of 10, brus, because the whole time I was basically just saying, bruh. I had no idea what was going on. I tried to follow it the best I could. It wasn't that bad of a movie until everyone showed up for the fight scene. Like, it was kind of a story until then.
But then it just went all downhill.
Then all shit went, all hell broke loose. Like, it I don't know, man. It was bad.
It was quite movie. It was very movie. Oh, is it my rating? Cool.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give it like a 5 or 6 out of 10, bro. Let's go 6 out of 10, bro. Because I watched this movie once before, like I said, at like 3 a.m. with like a bunch of my best friends who were just like hyping me up and being like insane. And that's kind of what this movie needs. But and I had watched it right after I watched the first Anchorman, so I actually knew context for it. And then the second time I watched it, it was just not as good. It was just pretty bad, and just made me go bruh quite a bit.
Yeah.
So it needs a very specific vibe.
No. Yeah. It was wow.
It's a movie that if you have friends that like to laugh at movies, then you should watch this movie, because this is the movie that you watch with your friends to laugh at.
Indeed.
Yeah, I
You
wouldn't
watch
watch
this
alone.
movie and go, bruh, this is insane.
I mean, that was for all of the movies. I mean, Sharknado, Romeo and Juliet, Jack and Jill, and next episode when we talk about the Emoji Movie, and discuss a bunch of emojis talking to each other, and you know, just this really just I don't even know what I also don't know what's
Truly.
going on in this movie. It was truly a masterpiece.
Truly, this movie has emojis and movie, so it did everything it had in the title, but we will discuss that
it really
later.
accomplished what it was trying to get at, I think. Somehow it did some sort of money. It somehow produced something. But yeah, so next episode we're going to be talking about a motion picture about things on your phone, because
Yep.
that's interesting and people like that.
And it was a movie.
Yeah.
And as always,
Bruh.
Bruh.